Today I will be focusing on the simple activity of drinking tea. This is a meaningful occupation for my roommate Amanda because she has been feeling sick lately and it has helped to make her feel better. To start, Amanda is sitting on a stool at our apartment countertop. She sits with her cervical spine slightly flexed as she is looking down at her mug. Her trunk is also slightly flexed with her scapula protracted. Her shoulders are adducted and internally rotated. Her elbows are flexed, her forearms in neutral, and her hands are clasped together in her lap. I'll be focusing on the right hand as her right upper extremity is what she uses to perform this activity. The exact positioning of her right hand is unclear as it is blocked by her left hand. However, it appears as though the MCP and IP joints of her right thumb are extended, while the CMC joint is radially abducted. The MCP, PIP, and DIP joints of digits 2 through 5 are flexed. This position is the stance phase of the movement, in which Amanda assumes a comfortable and balanced position to begin the task of drinking tea. Next, Amanda begins to reach for her mug. To do this, she flexes her right shoulder while simultaneously extending her elbow. Her shoulder also begins to externally rotate. Her cervical spine and trunk remain slightly flexed. Her forearm remains in neutral. As she gets closer to the handle, Amanda begins to slightly extend the MCP, PIP, and DIP joints of digits 2 through 5 in preparation to grasp the mug. She also moves into palmar abduction of the CMC joint at her thumb, while the MCP and IP joints remain relatively the same in extension. When her grasp on the handle is solidified, the MCP and IP joints of digits 1 through 5 all flex, with her thumb resting on the top of the handle. This is the preparatory phase of the movement, as Amanda's muscles are ready to generate the force and momentum necessary to lift the mug. Next, Amanda begins to lift the mug towards her mouth. To do this, she slightly abducts and externally rotates her shoulder while elevating her scapula. The most movement occurs as she flexes her elbow to get the mug up to her mouth. Once the mug is up to her lips, she radially deviates her wrist to tip the mug towards her mouth so she can drink the tea. She then alternately deviates her wrist back to neutral when she is done drinking. This is the movement phase of the activity, as this is the acceleration and movement part of drinking tea. To put the mug back on the counter, her shoulder adducts while internally rotating. Her scapula depresses. Her elbow extends until the mug makes contact with the counter. The MCP and IP joints in all of the digits of her right hand remain in their flexed position, as a firm hold on the handle is necessary for this portion of the activity. This is the follow-through phase of the activity, as the velocity of her movements decrease as she prepares to stop motion. Amanda then releases her grip on the mug. To do this, she extends the MCP and IP joints of digits 1 through 5. Her thumb remains in palmar abduction until she begins moving back towards her lap, in which the CMC joint of her thumb moves into full radial adduction. As she clasps her hands in her lap, the MCP and IP joints of digits 1 through 5 once again flex. As she brings her arm back to her lap, her shoulder remains adducted and internally rotated as it extends. Her elbow flexes until she reaches her lap. This is the recovery phase of the movement, as Amanda's body is stopped and ready to begin another motion.